John White. I now live in a small town in Mexico. Today I'm going to explain how to play the games called the Maya Cosmic Number Puzzles. They are found on Google Play. You need to type in the full name to bring them up on your computer. At the present time, September 2013, we only have them available for the Android system of smartphones and tablets. Later we will have them available for the regular PC computers and then for the Apple system. These puzzles were originally found inside a Maya pyramid in the late 1940s of the last century. They were lost to the world for over 1,400 years. The original puzzles were inscribed on solid gold plates. Someday in the future we hope to show them all to you, but for now we only have 2 of them to show you. Today, I want to show you how to play the games. There are more than one type of game. We will be showing you the 10 by 10 version today. This puzzle is a sophisticated puzzle. It has 10 columns and 10 rows. There are puzzles that are for younger people that are the 5 by 5s. Then we have puzzles for most people, 7 by 7s, the 9 by 9s. So you can find puzzles to fit your needs. We have puzzles that are easy in each book. We have puzzles that are intermediate in each book. And we have puzzles that are very complicated to finish in each book. Later we will have versions of the games of 11 by 11s, 13 by 13s, and 15 by 15s. As you can see, they can get very complicated. The numbers you will be using in this system are the numbers that you normally see in your schools, from 0 all the way to 9. So, I started with solving the puzzle. First, I'm going to start with finding the row or columns with the least amount of blanks in them. In this case, like in the first row, you see that there are, in each square across this row, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 blanks. This row here, there are only 2 blanks. So that means that it's probably an easier place to start solving the puzzle. If we start with using the right hand numbers, we see that we have a 3, a 6, a 4, a 7, an 8, a 0, a 9, and a 2. That means that we are missing a 5 and a 1. When we look at where we need to place the 5 or 1, we see that there is already a 5 here. So we would place the 1 at this position. That means that the 5 would go here. Then for the numbers on the left side, we see that we have an 8, a 7, a 5, a 0, a 9, a 2, and a 3. We are missing a 1 and a 6. So that when we look at the rows and columns that would correspond with this row, we see that we already have a 1 here. So the 1 is not going to go here. It's going to go over here, where there are no 1s in that column. Then we see that we have left the 6, and the 6 will go here. That completes that row. The next row that is easy to complete would be this row here. We have a 9, a 5, a 7, a 1, a 4, an 8, a 0, and a 3. That means that we are missing a 6 and a 2. As you can see in this column, placed over here. And the 6 would be placed in this position here. Then for the left-hand numbers, we see that we have a 3, a 5, 6, 9, 8, 1, 7, and a 4. That means that we have missing a 2 and a 0. When we look as to where to place the 2 or the 0, we see that we already have a 2 in this column here. So that would mean that the 0 would have to go here, and the 2 would be placed here. Now, we look around to see which other columns or rows that are going to be easy to complete. We see that down here we have a row that is only missing 2 sets of numbers. So that is where we're going to go next. The right side numbers are a 4, an 8, a 1, a 0, a 9, 6, 3, and 7. That means we are missing a 2 and a 5. We can see that we could not place the 5 here because there's already a 5 in this column. So we will place the 2 in this position here. And that means the 5 would go here. We can check and see that there are no 5s in this column, so that would make sense. Now, for the left-hand numbers, we have a 1, an 8, a 5, 4, 7, 3, 0, and a 9. That means that there is a 6 and a 2 missing. When we look at this column, we can see that there is already a 6 here. So the 2 would go here. And that would mean that the 6 would be placed here. Now we've completed 3 rows, and we look around to see what else we can solve. We could solve this column very simply because now, by solving these 2 numbers, we only have 1 blank space down on this row. So, we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 0, a 7, and an 8. So we are only missing 9, which will go here. On the left side of this column, the numbers are a 4, a 5, a 6, a 0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So we are missing a 9. That solves that column. Then we look around to see what else we can solve easily. This row only has 2 blanks, so we will go there next. On this row, we see that we have a 1, a 3, a 9, 7, 6, 2, 8, and a 0. We are missing a 5 and a 4. When we look down, we do not see any 5s or 4s. Well, there there's one in this column, right? This column here. So that would mean that the 5 would have to go here. And if the 5 goes there, then that only leaves the 4 to go here. Now, on the left side numbers, we have an 8, a 6, a 0, a 3, a 4, 2, 5, and a 1. That means we are missing a 9 and a 7. We can see in this column that we have a 9, so the 7 must go there. Therefore, we only have a 9 to complete the row. Now, we look around to see where we can find another column or a row to complete. We see that this column only has one spot to fill. So, on the right side, we have a 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 9, and 7. So, we are missing an 8, for the right-hand sided number. On the side, we have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 7, and 8. We are missing a 9. So the 9 goes here to complete that column. Now, we are going to check around and see where would be the easiest place to solve. This one still has 4 blanks in that row. This one has 4. This one has 3. This one has 3. There are 4 here and 3 here. In our columns, we have 2 here. We have 3. We have 2. We have 3. We have 3. And we have 1. And we have 4 and a 2. So this will be our next spot to solve. We have a 9, a 3, a 2, a 0, an 8, a 1, a 6, and a 4. So we are missing a 5, and we are missing a 7 somewhere in this row. So if we have a 5 and a 7, we see that there is already a 7 here. So that means that the 5 has to go here. And the 7 has to go here. Then in the left side, we have a 5, a 7, a 2, a 9, 1, 0, 3, and a 6. An 8 or a 4. So we see that there is already an 8 here. So that means the 4 would have to go here. And the 8 would have to go in this position. Then the next column or row to solve might be this one here, this column, because it only has 2 blanks in it. We start out on the right side, a 0, 7, 5, 3, 9, 1, 4, and 2. That means that we are missing a 6 and an 8. So when we look around to check for our checks by using the method of checking a row to see which numbers we also have, we have a 6 here. So that means the 6 must go in this position, and the 8 must go in this position here. On the left side, we have a 0, a 2, a 9, an 8, 3, 7, 1, and 4. We are missing then a 6 and a 5. If we look here, we already have, on this row, we already have a 6, so the 6 cannot go here, it must go up there. If the 6 goes there, then the 5 must go here. We look around on the puzzle and we see that this row here is only missing 2 spots. So we're going to attempt to solve that one next. On the right side, we have a 1, a 7, a 0, an 8, a 9, a 3, a 5, and a 4. We are missing a 2, and we are missing a 6. So when we look around, we see that we have a 6 here. So that means that the 2 would have to go here, and the 6 would have to go in this position here. Then on the left side, we have a 7, a 0, a 3, 2, 4, 1, 8, and a 5. That means that we are missing a 9 and a 6. So we already have the 6 in this column, so that would mean that we would have the 9 there, and the 6 would go here on this spot. The next one that we can easily solve is this row here, which only has 1 blank. We have an 8, a 9, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 0, 7, 2, and a 1. That means that we are only missing a 3. On the left side, we have a 6, 1, 0, 7, 9, 5, 4, 8, and 2. And again, we are only missing the 3. Then when we check around on the puzzle, we see that this column here is only missing 1 spot, so we solve for that. We see that there is an 8, 0, 9, 5, 4, 7, 2, 1, and 6. That means that we are only missing a 3 again. And the 3 will go here. On the left side, we see that we have a 3, 8, 0, 7, 4, 6, 9, 5, and 1. That means that we are only missing a 2. As we check the puzzle, we see that on this row we only have 2 spots. So we're going to solve for this row next. We see that we, on the right side, we have a 6, a 4, 7, a 3, a 0, an 8, a 1, and a 9. That means that we are missing a 2 and a 5. When we check, we see that we have a 2 in this column, so that we cannot have the 2 at this position. We must have a 5. So that means the 2 would go here. In the left side, we have a 5, a 3, a 7, a 2, 6, 9, 0, and an 8. That means that we are missing a 1 and a 4. When we check to see which place that the numbers are going to go, we see that we have a 4 here. So a 4 cannot go in this position, it must go here. That means the 1 goes here. When we check around to see what will be next, this column here is only missing 2 spots. So we're going to try to solve it next. We see that on the right side we have an 8, a 2, a 9, a 0, 6, 5, 3, and a 1. That means that we are missing a 7 and a 4. We see that when we check this row, we have a 7 here, so the 7 cannot go here. So the 7 must go here, and the 4 must go here. On the left side, we see that we have a 5, an 8, 2, 7, 6, 4, 0, and 3. So we are missing a 1 and a 9. When we check, we do not see a 1 or a 9 in this spot. So we don't know which way to put these numbers. We do know that a 1 or a 9 go here, a 1 and a 9 go here. We can check around on the puzzle to see if there is a 17 or a 97, a 14 or 94. And that will determine, since each pair of numbers can only be seen one time in any one square. We notice that there is a 14 here, so that means that there cannot be a 14 in this spot. If that is the case, it can only be a 9. If that is a 9, this can only be a 1. We will start and try to solve this column next, because it only has 2 blanks. We have a 0, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 7, and an 8. That means that we are missing a 5 and a 6. When we look across these 2 rows, we see that we have a 6 here, so the 6 cannot go in this position, it must go here. And if the 6 goes there, and that means that we can only have a 5 in this position. On the left side of this column, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 7. So we are missing a 6 and a 0. So we see that when we look across these two rows, we have a 6 here, so we cannot have a 6 here. That means the 0 must go here, and the 6 must go in this position here. That leaves us with 3 blank spots in this column, only 1 in this column, and 3 in this column. So this column would be the easiest to solve. On the right side, we see that we have a 6, a 9, 4, 3, 7, 1, 8, 2, and a 0. So we are only missing a 5. On the left side of this column, we have the 8, 6, 7, 3, 5, 9, 2, 1, 4. So we are only missing the 0. Now, when we look around again to check to see where to solve the puzzle, we see that we have on this row we are missing two spots. In this row we're missing 2 spots. In this row we're missing 2 spots. So we can solve any one of the 3. So we'll just start at the top. And on the right side we have a 0, 1, an 8, a 6, a 4, a 9, a 7, and a 5. That means we are missing both a 3 and a 2. So we check and we see that we have a 2 at this position in this column. So we cannot have a 2 here, so the 2 must be over in this position. If the 2 is there, then that means a 3 has to be here. On the left side, we have a 0, a 4, a 3, an 8, a 2, a 5, a 1, and a 6. That means that we are missing a 9 and a 7. When we look, we see that we have a 9 in this column, so we cannot have the 9 here, so the 9 must be over in this position here. If the 9 is there, then the 7 must be here. Now, we are only missing 2 in this column here, and we'll try to solve for it. On the right side, we have a 2, a 7, a 6, an 8, a 4, 9, 0, and a 5. That means that we have a 3 and a 1 that are missing. So we see that we have a 1 in this position, so there will not be any 1 there. It will be up here. And that means that the 3 will be here in this position. On the left side, we have a 7, a 3, a 9, a 0, 8, 4, 6, 2. So that means we're missing both a 5 and a 1. We see that we have the 5 here, so that means that the 1 must be here, and the 5 down in this position here. Now, we can solve this row quickly. And we see that we have a 7, a 2, a 0, 9, 1, 5, 3, 4, and a 6. So we are missing an 8. On the left side, we have a 2, 5, 8, 6, 1, 3, 7, 9, and 0. So we are missing a 4. And when we check, we see that in this column, we do not have any 4. So that means that we are doing good. Now we only have one blank left. And if we come up with the right number, that indicates that we've solved the puzzle correctly. We have a 2, a 9, a 6, a 5, a 3, 7, 4, 1, and 8. That means that we have a 0 that can go here. Then we have a 4, a 9, a 1, 0, 5, 8, 6, 3, and a 7. So we are only missing a 2. And when we check, we do not have a 2 in this column. So it looks very good, and we have now solved the puzzle. You can check by checking your numbers all the way through the puzzle, or if you have the Android system, it will show for you that your puzzle has been solved correctly. So now this 10 by 10 is now solved. This was a fairly easy puzzle. We have many that will take you several hours to complete, if not a couple of days. Hopefully, when you solve these puzzles, write down your time in the spot and the date, and then you will be able to compare when you finish up more puzzles how quickly you have learned how to solve this type of puzzle, and that helps you in your problem solving all your life. Thank you for your time.